boy, this is why Sokka from Avatar: The Last Airbender is a true alpha male in every sense of the word. He really embodies the principles of what it means to be a real man. I was gonna say a real N-word, but I can't curse on here because I don't want to edit it out. But number one is Sokka always stepped behind his bitch. Sokka always stepped behind his girl, okay? Number one, when they visit the northern or southern water tribe, I don't remember the name. And he meets Princess Yue, and they have a little thing, okay? And he feels like Princess Yue is kind of like turning him down. Even in spaces when she is not around, he defends her and speaks highly of her. Even when he realizes that he in fact cannot be with her, not because he's a peasant boy and she thinks lowly of him, but because she's going to be engaged, he still defends her. He defends her when her fiance is kind of like talking about the sweet perks of being with the chief's daughter. He's like, oh my God, that's disgusting. And he fights her. He fights about his girl. He don't care. But he also defends her at critical moments when the Fire Nation invades and the chief gives him the job of protecting Princess Yue. Rather than saying, that's not my girl, I'm not defending her, have her fiance defend her, he jumps at the honor to defend Princess Yue. Another sign of his character, because I feel like a lot of men would be like, not my girl, not my problem. But Sake not only steps up to defend a tribe that is not his, but he also defends a girl that is not his, and he cannot be with her because she is going to be engaged. Now we have the moment where they go to the Fire Nation has invaded. They go to the most spiritual place in the South Pole, I think it was. And the Fire Nation finds out the identity of the moon, which are these two koi fish. They have the moon and the ocean, and there are these two koi fish in mortal form that swim around in this celestial pond. And the general or whoever was the head of the Fire Nation kills one of the koi fish that is the embodiment of the moon. And Princess Yue, whose life was restored by the moon spirit, must now give her life back to the moon to restore balance. And in that moment, we see Sokka say the final words of, my dad asked me to protect you. I can't let you do this. And then she's like, I must for my people. And then she walks away and she becomes the moon and spirit, and they I think they kiss, but I don't think they can kiss. But it was just so sad. But it shows Sokka's true character, because even though he could not possess her, could not be engaged to her, he was still there for her. Okay. Number two was his relationship with Suki. When he first meets Suki, it's after him and Katara have been arguing, because he's kind of misogynistic in the sense that he was just saying earlier that women are not good for battle. They're better for hemming, clothing, doing weaving. I think she was mending his pants earlier in the episode. So they go to Kyoshi Island. He meets Suki, and she is beaten, or him and the Avatar gang, as he would say, are beaten by the Kyoshi warriors. And you see him popping his stuff, talking about women can't fight, woo, 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 blah, 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 blah. But later on, he admits that he has been bested by them. And he asked to be trained and taught in their ways of doing things. And he apologizes for his behavior. You know what I'm saying? Which is a sign of good character, to admit when you're wrong, but admit that you're wrong, and you also may be, the term is not weaker, but less skilled than a woman. That takes, you know, that takes a level of security within yourself. And he also, along with everybody else, fought for Kyoshi Island when it was invaded by the Fire Nation. Number 3 was he never backed down from a battle, even if it was a very experienced bender, someone overly powered. It could have been Zuko, it could have been anybody from the Fire Nation. Sokka, he was gonna stab. I think of like Combustion Man when they were hiding in, maybe I think it was the Eastern Air Temple, you know, the air temple that's underground. I'm not sure what's the name of it because it's so hard to remember the names of all these places in the show. But the Combustion Man comes for them. This is just after Zuko has kind of like apologized and made their way into the group, but Combustion Man comes for them. You know how he has the eye in the middle of his head and he's like blowing them up with his little forehead thing. And Sokka, he has his little boomerang, his trusty boomerang, bitch. I'm gonna have to edit that shit. I'm gonna edit that out. He has his boomerang and he hits him in the head, makes him like, you know, malfunction, and then Zuko finishes the job. But needless to say, what Sokka lacked in bending and brute strength, he matched up for it in wit and courage. There's just so many moments where he fights even though it's clear, even though it seems clear that he's gonna lose. And then sometimes, surprisingly, like, things do work out. Even in a battle, you'll see him fight a soldier and the soldier will fall. You see him, and I think they were on an airship and Toph and Azula were battling, and he's able to like best her. I think this was in the final battle where Toph and Azula were on the airship. Like, Toph was bending the rudders of the airship so the airships could hit all the other airships, and then Azula popped up on the scene and he is able to escape from her and protect Toph using his wit and courage and strength. And then what is my other example, right? The nigga, he's funny, okay? He's funny, and I can't think of nothing else, okay? There's so many scenes, and I did just binge watch all of Avatar because I was going through a rough time. So I kind of been watching Avatar for hours, and I literally can't remember anything. Well, what else is there? What else did I like that he did that? Oh, also, I forgot one of the most impressive things. He broke his girlfriend out of prison. If that's not a real, I don't know what it is, but he broke his girlfriend out of prison, a high security prison, using his wits and smarts. He was originally going there to see his dad, right? But he ended up seeing Suki, staying for Suki he ended up seeing Suki, saving her, and then realizing, oh, my dad might be coming and saving him too. And needless to say, he does this alone. I think it was just him and Zuko. It was like him and Zuko that went. And he didn't take the rest of the gang. And he pulled off that operation. He got his dad back. And he got Suki back. You know what I'm saying? It just shows that, like, and he was a great character to have in the show because it showed that you did it. I'm glad that they had it because I know it's a children's show, okay? But I'm glad that they had him as a character in the show because it showed that you don't have to have bending, or you don't have to have the amazing skills or amazing talents to do amazing things. You know, it showed that, like, I think it showed to me as a viewer, like, you're good enough. You don't have to be exemplary. Like how Avatar's the Avatar, Toph is the best airbender, Katara is, you know, an amazing waterbender. But it showed that you don't have to be exemplary to be exemplary. overall, he's just the definition of masculinity. I don't know. I feel like if you're looking for a real and can't say the word, can't curse. I feel like he's a great example. He's a great example. He's a good character. He knows when to apologize. He always defends people. I also didn't mention this, but he's learned to trust his instincts and be a leader. He led the invasion force when it was the eclipse, even though they lost. So you just, W sokka. Anyway, I have to leave because I'm talking too much.